Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good to see you.
Thanks for being part of this today.
Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here today. Hello, my name is Commander Anna Kocot, and I am a Naval Warfare Officer in the Canadian Armed Forces. I'm honored to be the current commanding officer of His Majesty's Canadian ship Tecumseh, the Naval Reserve unit right here in Calgary. HMCS Tecumseh was established in 1923 as the Calgary Half Company, part of the Royal Canadian Navy Volunteer Reserve, and was formally commissioned in 1941 during World War II. On Remembrance Day, we recognize the commitment and sacrifice that our Canadian Armed Forces members have made in their service to their country at home and overseas. I am proud today to be joined by 3 sailors from HMCS Tecumseh, each with a unique story and amazing contributions, who have done impressive work to keep Canadians safe.
I am Petty Officer Second Class Maria Hale, Naval Communicator with HMCS Tecumseh, Operations Chief and Lead Recruiter.
Hi, I'm Sailor First Class Lastiwka. I'm a bosun mate here at HMCS Tecumseh in Calgary.
I am Petty Officer Second Class Lentz, and I'm a Divisional Petty Officer here at HMCS Tecumseh.
Thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate you making the time. You have all showed an impressive sense of duty and commitment to Canada and to your community through your work as a naval reservist. Can you speak to your recent work with domestic operations and why you chose to get involved?
Once I heard of the opportunity to participate with Operation Nanook in Canada's Arctic, I was quick to jump on the opportunity. Canada's presence in the Arctic is vital for national identity, sovereignty, security, and economic prosperity. The region's growing geopolitical position is important for Canada and for us to train as we fight. Especially learning to operate in such harsh environments. Interoperability with our allies was also important, as well as working with Canada's Rangers. Working with the Rangers was a highlight of the deployment. Their traditional knowledge and ability to survive in the Arctic and teach members of the Canadian Armed Forces how to survive in such harsh environments was invaluable.
Are you able to tell us a little bit about what the Rangers are?
The Rangers are a group of Indigenous members of the forces who volunteer their time to protect and ensure presence in the Arctic.
Thank you.
Same question.
Good question.
So I was working on a farm at the time and heard over the radio there was fires growing in Alberta. It was a rough wildfire season, and I knew that there was talks that the Army was going to get deployed and involved. So I reached out to my chain of command and got a notice that they were looking for volunteers to go and fight the fires up in northern Alberta. So I took it upon myself to just be one volunteer. I know we needed people, they needed bodies to go out and man the fire lines, and it wasn't going to get done by anybody else. Nobody else volunteered, so I thought it was a great opportunity to work together closely with our Army units up in Red Deer, out of Red Deer area and out of the Edmonton area. I learned a lot from them about cohesion as an Army unit, and I also got to experience helping out fellow Albertans, making sure that their homes were safe and protected from the unfortunate reality of fires in our domestic areas. So,
can you speak a little bit to the actual work that you did up there?
Yeah, for sure. I was working on the fire line as a Type 3 firefighter. So we were working in large lines between us as a platoon to literally walk as a line throughout the forests up in Drayton Valley area to look for unburnt or burnt areas that were still smoldering or areas that had high chances of potential reignition, as well as knocking down deadfall trees, stuff that could potentially come down on somebody who walks through their own property and injure them severely. So we basically came through and cleaned up anything after that the fire hadn't really taken its toll on.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Excellent.
Same question to you.
Thank you for the question, ma'am. I had the opportunity to work at the Maritime Security Operations Center in Halifax. And one of the things that I think a lot of Canadians don't realize is that we are a maritime nation. We're bordered by the 3 oceans. We have the St. Lawrence Seaway going into the Great Lakes. It's a fantastic opportunity for us to really take care of our Canadian waters and our waterways. So what the MSOCs do is they are a group of 6 government organizations. So we're looking at the Department of National Defence, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Transport Canada, Border Services Agency, Fisheries and Ocean, and the Coast Guard. And what those organizations do together is they come together to share intelligence, to analyze maritime data, and to provide that overall picture, what we call the common operating picture, which is really just a real-time coordinated understanding of what's happening in our waterways. We're looking at vessels, we're looking at cargo, we're looking at infrastructure, anything that's really in, on, or around our waterways. And it's really important to Canada's security as well as our environmental protections because we're sharing this information across these government organizations. It allows us to move efficiently and effectively and to really keep Canada and Canadians safe. And what I really enjoyed about that was just the ability to take what I've learned at Tecumseh and through my reserve training and apply it in a real-time environment. This was definitely a huge challenge to work on a rotating shift, to work with different people from the Air Force, the Army, from the United States Navy, and really just have that experience and to be able to bring that information back home.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you to all of you for your interesting story as well as for your service to Canada. This Remembrance Day, we think of the sacrifices made throughout history and bring light to how our military serves in our communities across Canada. And as we've heard, the 3 of you have done just that. Can you please tell me more about what Remembrance Day means to you?
I often think of why we're here. I think about my grandfather. I think about the sacrifices he made at a younger age. He traded in his youth, his adolescence, for basically my freedom. And for that, I'm proud to continue the service that's part of my family heritage, as well as a small milestone of what Canada is today.
Thank you. How about you?
That's a great question. It means a lot. Remembrance Day is huge. I think it's important to just take that extra time. It's a small part of one day of the year that I think everybody should take time to reflect on the huge impact and that the people who gave a lot for us have made. They've done so much for our country and for the people who live here that might go unrecognized. So it's a day that we can just take a second to kind of reflect about what they might have done, what they have done, and what they've given to make sure that we can all enjoy ourselves and enjoy each day and have these conversations that we all want to have each day.
Thank you. Officer Lentz?
Thank you, ma'am. So unlike a lot of families, I don't have any military history. I'm the first person in my family to wear the uniform, so I can't harken back to family sacrifices as P.O. Hale has. But for me, what I like to look to is the history and the individuals and their stories and how I can hoist in those experiences to look to their bravery and their courage and their loyalty and their sense of duty and bring that into how I serve. And hopefully look to those different experiences that aren't necessarily lived within my family, but that I can apply to how I serve and to how I can help my juniors coming forward. I really think it's a great opportunity for all Canadians to learn about our past, whether or not you have that military background, but you can look to see, that sense of Canadian pride that comes with past service.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you all for sharing your thoughts and your experiences. If you had to leave us with any advice on how members of the community can commemorate this Remembrance Day, what would that advice be?
I invite the community, I invite every Canadian, new Canadian, to continue that tradition because it is important to remember, but also to show support for the people that are active in the military.
Thank you.
The smallest thing you can do is wear a poppy. It shows that you are taking the time to think each day for that short period of time that we do wear them each year, that you are taking a second to show your thanks and remembrance to what people who come before us have given. I urge everybody to learn about the stories of what people have done in service of our country, whether it's from the First World War, Second World War, all the way up until Afghanistan even. There's some great stories out there that you can really learn about and get a small understanding of what they have actually really done for us. And I really encourage everybody to show up on November 11th to attend a ceremony somewhere, and try and just get out and attend one to really appreciate to get a full scale picture of what they have done for us.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
What I would tell people to get out and to do, and to pair off of what S1 Lastiwka said, is really those small acts. It doesn't take a big Herculean effort to show your support. Wear the poppy, go to a ceremony near you. If you can't, there's great things on the television that you can watch. Watch what's happening at the National War Monument in Ottawa, and see how Canada as a whole comes together in that day. It's especially more important as we are losing those voices as the generations get on in years. And it's really important to instill that in the next generation who are not going to get the chance to see those veterans at those events. But they can learn and they can see while they can. And hopefully we can just have this ongoing series of remembrance throughout the years, and hopefully by doing that, maybe it'll instill, the sense of duty within young Canadians that they might want to put on the uniform and give it a shot one day.
I would like to conclude by thanking the panelists for participating in this important conversation today. Thank you for sharing your insightful thoughts as well as your experiences, and thank you for your contributions to Canada and our community. I would like to thank all those who took the time to listen in order to deepen their understanding about Remembrance Day and the contributions of the Canadian Armed Forces members. As you heard from our panelists, you can help honor our military's legacy by sharing what you've learned, wearing a poppy, attending a Remembrance Day ceremony at your local cenotaph, thanking a veteran when you see one, as well as by pausing for a moment of silence on November 11th. This Remembrance Day, I will be at the Field of Crosses.
This Remembrance Day, I will be at the military museums.
This Remembrance Day, I'll be at the Jubilee.
This Remembrance Day, I will be at Riverwalk Retirement Residence speaking with the residents there.